Alternating currents class 8. In this class I have discussed topic transformer. This topic have been divided in following subtopics: basic introduction of transformer, principle of transformer, then diagram, relation between EMF and number of turns for a transformer, efficiency of transformer, factors responsible for loss of energy in a transformer and how they can be minimized, and finally questions related to topic. Hello students, welcome in my class. In a series of classes related to chapter alternating current, we have discussed so many points related to the alternating current. Now we are going to discuss a next topic, transformer, and that is a very important topic. And transformer device is very useful for alternating current when we discuss generation, distribution and transmission of AC. Generally AC is transferred from power station to the different cities where alternating current is utilized. जहाँ पावर स्टेशन है, पावर स्टेशन पे जो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोड्यूस होती है दैट इज मैक्सिमम एट 440 वोल्ट, बट द इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कैन नॉट बी ट्रांसमिटेड एट द सेम वोल्टेज. जस्ट आई विल डिस्कस हियर that if electricity is transmitted only at 440 volt, then power loss will be very high, and to minimize the power loss during transmission we used a device that is known as transformer. So the main use of transformer is the long distance transmission of alternating current. By even numerical data I will just discuss that if AC is transferred at low voltage, then power loss will be very high, and if AC is transmitted at high voltage, then power loss will be very low. Therefore, long distance transmission of AC is always done at very high voltage. That is the main use of transformer. And transformers are also used to step down the alternating voltage. They are not only used to increase the voltage or step up the voltage, they are also used to step down the voltage. For example, by using transformer we can convert 220 volt AC into 20 volt AC. It means we can also step down the voltage. Okay? So that is the main basic introduction of transformer. और ट्रांसफार्मर मोस्टली हमने देखा है डिफरेंट कॉलोनीज में, सिटीज़ में, जहाँ भी आप देखेंगे आपको अलग अलग ट्रांसफार्मर्स दिखाई देंगे, और वो ट्रांसफार्मर डिफरेंट कॉलोनीज में डिफरेंट पर्टिकुलर एरिया के लिए इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सप्लाई करने के काम आते हैं. तो व्हेन alternating current is transmitted from power station to a city, it is always transmitted at very high voltage, and within city it is transmitted at 220 volt, that is AC mains that mainly we are using. And for factories or heavy machineries we have to use 440 volt line, or we can say 440 volt line. So here this is the basic introduction of transformer. Now we can say transformer. What is transformer? How we can define it? It is a device. It is a device used to step up or step down the alternating EMF. It cannot be used for DC. It can be used only for AC. It is a device used to step up, or step down the alternating EMF. Alternating EMF or alternating voltage. This is transformer. Transformer is a device which is used to step up or step down the alternating EMF. Now what is basic principle or theory? Principle. Transformer is based on the phenomena of mutual induction. Transformer is based on the phenomena of mutual induction. It is based on the phenomena of mutual induction. What is mutual induction? Mutual induction means phenomena of inducing EMF in one coil due to change in magnetic flux linked with the neighboring coil. Phenomena of inducing EMF in one coil due to change in magnetic flux linked with the neighboring coil, that is associated coil. That phenomena is known as mutual induction, and that topic we have already discussed in the chapter electromagnetic induction, where there were two phenomena. One is self induction, other is mutual induction. Transformer is based on the phenomena of mutual induction. Now diagram of transformer. So here we are using the diagram of transformer with keeping in view the concept of mutual induction. Transformer consists of two coils. One is known as primary coil, other is known as secondary coil, and they are wounded on a laminated iron core. I am drawing the diagram of transformer. This is laminated iron core. All these plates are having same dimension, but to give 3D look, we have drawn like this. This is laminated iron core. This iron core is not in the form of a single slab. It is in the form of different plates, and they are placed over one over each other, having laminated iron core. So this is the transformer core, or we can say core of the transformer. This is transformer core. On this side there is primary coil. This is primary coil, and on this side this is secondary coil. This is primary coil, this is secondary coil. Here is the EMF of primary coil, and here is the EMF of secondary coil. This is primary coil, and this is secondary coil, and this is laminated iron core. This is laminated iron core. This is the basic diagram of transformer. This is laminated iron core, this is primary coil, and this is secondary coil. Just after some time we will see that the number of turns in secondary coil, will decide whether it is step up or step down. If this number is high in comparison to this is known as step up transformer. That we will discuss just after 10 minutes. But here from diagram you can easily identify. I have drawn the diagram of step up transformer because here I have drawn some more wires or more number of turns. Number of turns will decide whether it is step down or step up. So here it is the diagram of step up transformer. This is primary coil, this is secondary coil. EMF linked with primary coil or EMF associated with primary coil, that we are denoting by EP. Let us suppose EP, or we can also say VP. V is the voltage or E is the voltage, that is EMF. EP, or we can also represent it as VP, EMF of primary coil or voltage of primary coil. And P, number of turns in primary coil. And IP, current in the primary coil. VP is voltage, or we can say EMF. VP is EMF. NP, number of turns, and this IP is current. But these three values are for primary coil. Primary coil voltage is Vp, number of turns Np, current is Ip. For secondary coil we can write the similar Vs, we can write Ns, and we can write Is. So now you can easily understand what is Vs. Vs is the voltage or EMF of secondary coil. Ns voltage or Ns number of turns in secondary coil, and Is is the current flowing in secondary coil. So that is the basic introduction and diagram of transformer, and this is known as transformer core. This is primary coil, this is secondary coil. Now we are going to discussing the theory part of the transformer. I think you are understanding this topic easily. Since the applied EMF to the primary coil is alternating nature, it means it is of variable nature. And by using the phenomena of mutual induction, we know that whenever there is change in magnetic flux in one coil, there will be induced EMF in the secondary coil. And from Faraday law, we know that E equals to d phi by dt, where phi is known as magnetic flux. E equals to d phi by dt. If we also include Lenz law, we can write minus d phi by dt. That topic you have already discussed in previous chapter, but again I am recalling. E equals to minus d phi by dt. Minus is according to Lenz law. According to Lenz law, the direction of EMF or induced current will be in such a way that it opposes the cause which produces it. It opposes the cause which produces it. Therefore, E we can write minus d phi by dt. But this formula we have written only for a coil having one turn. If there is many turn, we can directly write E equals to n d phi by dt. E equals to n d phi by dt, that is magnetic flux phi, number of turn n, and this is induced EMF E. If we have to write minus sign, we can write, otherwise we can take the magnitude value. So similarly, if we use this concept here, then we can write using Faraday's law, induced EMF of primary coil. Using Faraday's law, induced EMF of primary coil can be written as EP equals to NP d phi by dt. EP equals to NP d phi by dt, where phi is the magnetic flux associated with primary coil. EP equals to NP d phi by dt, equation number 1, where phi is the flux linked with primary coil. This is for primary coil. We can write EP equals to NP d phi by dt. For ideal transformer or for ideal condition, let us suppose there is no loss of flux. Ideal condition, let us suppose there is no loss of flux. It means total flux of primary coil is associated with the secondary coil. For ideal condition, there is no loss of flux, or we can say total flux of primary coil will be associated with the secondary coil. Therefore, using Faraday's law for secondary coil, what we can write? ES equals to NS d phi by dt. For primary coil, EP can be written as NP d phi by dt. For secondary coil, ES equals to NS d phi by dt. If equation 2 divided by equation 1, if we divide equation 2 by equation 1, we get ES upon EP equals to, this term will cancel out, d phi by dt cancel out, we get NS by NP, or this we can also write as K, where K is known as transformer ratio. This K is not a universal constant. This is transformer ratio for a particular transformer, that is NS by NP. So this is the basic relation for a transformer. ES by EP equals to NS by NP. Then we can also write it as K, where K is transformer ratio. So this is the working formula for a transformer. Now we can write case first. If NS greater than NP, if NS greater than NP, or we can say number of turns in secondary coil is more than the number of turns in primary coil, or we can say K greater than 1. In this case, K greater than 1. So since NS greater than NP, therefore ES will be greater than EP. It means the EMF of secondary coil will be more than the primary coil, and such type of transformer is known as step up transformer. Such type of transformer is known as step up transformer. It means, what is the condition for step up? Number of turns in secondary coil should be more than the number of turns in primary coil. Then the transformer is said to be step up transformer. B part. If NS less than NP, or we can say K less than 1. If NS less than NP, therefore ES less than EP. It means the EMF of secondary coil, will be less than the primary coil, and such type of transformer is known as step down transformer. Such type of transformer is known as step down transformer. These are the two types of transformer. One is step up transformer, other is step down transformer. I think it is very easy. NS greater than NP, and here NS less than NP. Therefore, whenever we have to increase the alternating EMF, we have to use step up transformer, and if we want to decrease the alternating voltage, we have to use step down transformer. Now, efficiency of transformer. Efficiency of transformer. Efficiency of transformer. That topic we are going to discuss. It is generally denoted by eta. Efficiency of transformer, that is generally denoted by eta, and no need to confuse, because in class 11th eta is the symbol also used for modulus of rigidity as well as coefficient of viscosity. But if there is some numerical related to eta, then by using the values of numerical or by observing the values of numerical, you can easily identify whether it is related to the efficiency of transformer or coefficient of viscosity or modulus of rigidity. So therefore no need to confuse. Efficiency of transformer we are denoting by eta. Now eta can be written as the ratio of output power to the input power. Output power to the input power, and if we have to find the efficiency in percentage, we can multiply by 100. Now output power, it can be written as ESIS upon EPIP. We know that power is voltage into current. ESIS by EPIP into 100%. This is the formula for efficiency of transformer. This is the formula for efficiency of transformer. Now for ideal condition, we can consider that efficiency is highest, but practically the efficiency of transformer is not 100% because there are certain types of losses in the transformer. Okay? So now we have to consider the energy losses in transformer or factors responsible for less efficiency of a transformer. Okay? So we can say different type of losses in transformer. Different types of energy losses in transformer. There is energy loss or there is certain loss in the efficiency or decrease in the efficiency due to so many factors. So here we will discuss what are the factors responsible for less efficiency of transformer as well as how they can be minimized. So first we can say copper losses. First we can say copper losses. So here the topic takes copper losses. Copper losses, it means there is no any loss of copper or there is no loss of copper, but there is losses due to copper. So we can say copper losses means those losses of energy which are due to the copper. Why or how copper losses? Because the core of transformer is wounded by the coil. Since primary and secondary coil are made of a conducting wire and which is generally copper wire. Primary coil and secondary coil are made of copper wire, and copper wire is having finite resistance which have finite resistance, and therefore according to Joule's law of heating, I square RT, if we consider Joule's law of heating I square RT, then definitely there will be some losses due to this resistance because resistance of copper is not zero. Resistance of copper is having finite value. Therefore, due to this Joule's law of heating, the energy will be lost in the form of heat that we do not want. We do not want that it produces more heat, but due to this resistance R, there will be some loss of heat. And how it can be minimized? It can be minimized by using thick copper wires. We can use thick copper wire, or we can say we have to increase the area of copper wire. If we increase area, then resistance of copper wire will decrease and therefore heat loss can be minimized. Clear? So that is the copper losses and how it can be minimized. Copper losses are due to the finite resistance of copper. Due to that, there is some loss of energy in the form of heat, and to minimize this copper losses, we have to use thick copper wire instead of thin copper wire, because as we increase the area, resistance will decrease. So this is the first type of losses, copper losses. Then second we can say iron losses. Here again, iron losses means the losses due to iron. Iron losses means losses due to iron, and iron losses can be divided in two parts. Number one part, eddy current losses. Eddy current losses, or we can say losses due to eddy current. In chapter electromagnetic induction, we have discussed eddy current. What are eddy current? I am again discussing. Whenever bulk pieces of metals, or we can say metallic sheet, let us suppose a thick metallic sheet. Whenever bulk pieces of metals or thick metal sheets are subjected to variable magnetic field, then circular currents are induced in the whole plate or whole specimen. Circular currents are induced. These are known as eddy currents. And when eddy currents starts flowing in a particular specimen, then due to presence of eddy current, there is some loss of heat, or there is some loss of energy in the form of heat. And we know that in transformer there is continuously change of magnetic field. Therefore, to minimize this eddy current loss, because primary coil and secondary coil both are wounded on a iron core, and if we use the iron core as a single piece, then eddy current will be very high. But if we use a laminated iron core, or we can say if the core is having in the form of different plates joined together, then the effective area for the eddy currents will be very low, and in that case eddy current can be minimized. So here we can write eddy current are produced due to variable magnetic field, or we can say circular currents are induced in the bulk pieces of metals. Circular currents are induced in the bulk pieces of metals, that is known as eddy current. And due to eddy current, there will be heat, or we can say transformer core get heated, and therefore there will be loss of energy in the form of heat. They can be minimized. Eddy current can be minimized by using laminated iron core. They can be minimized by using laminated iron core instead of iron core of a single piece. So that is known as eddy current losses. Now second part of the iron losses is hysteresis losses. Hysteresis losses. Hysteresis losses. According to theory of ferromagnetic, paramagnetic, diamagnetic, in chapter 5 magnetic effect, we know that hysteresis means whenever a substance is completely magnetized and demagnetized, again magnetized and demagnetized, it means whenever a ferromagnetic substance is magnetized or demagnetized, we get a complete curve, that is known as hysteresis loop. That is known as hysteresis loop, that we have already discussed in the chapter hysteresis loop. It is observed that the area of hysteresis loop, is directly proportional to the loss of energy. Area of hysteresis loop is directly proportional to the loss of energy in the form of heat. Therefore, to minimize hysteresis loss, we use such a substance which is having narrow area of hysteresis loop. And for this purpose, we are having two choices. One is soft iron, other is steel. If we compare soft iron and steel, both are ferromagnetic substances. If we compare soft iron and steel, it is found that area of soft iron is less in comparison to steel. Therefore, to minimize this hysteresis loss, we use soft iron. For making the core of the transformer instead of steel, because that is having more area of hysteresis loss. So these are the two losses related to iron. One iron loss is losses due to eddy current, and it can be minimized by using laminated iron core. Secondly, hysteresis losses. It can be minimized by using the core of soft iron instead of steel. So these are the two losses. One is copper losses, other is iron losses, and the last one is flux losses. What is meant by here flux losses? I am discussing. Flux losses means it may happen that total flux linked with the primary coil may not be associated with the secondary coil. It means there may be some loss of flux, and if there is loss of flux, it will affect the efficiency of the transformer. And this flux loss can be minimized by using perfect coupling, or we can say by winding one coil over the other. Therefore, there is no gap between the two coils, and in such cases flux loss can be minimized. It means flux loss can be minimized by using perfect coupling, that I am representing by this diagram. Let us suppose this is the core of transformer. For perfect coupling, primary coil and secondary coil are not used here, because in that case there will be some gap between them, and therefore this flux may not be associated with this flux. And therefore, to minimize the flux losses, what we do, here we consider the central part. We attach primary coil here, that we can say primary coil. I am not drawing the complete diagram, we will explain only. This is the primary coil, and the secondary coil should be also wounded over this. This is secondary coil. Here we can say this is ES and this is EP. In that case, there will be perfect coupling, or there will be no loss of flux. But here be cautious, these two wires are not in electrical contact. These are the insulated wire, or we can say these are the copper wire having insulation coating over that. Insulated coating over that. Therefore, although they are placed at one place, but they are not in directly electrical contact. Only there is magnetic flux is associated with, and in this case flux loss can be minimized up to great extent. So these are the three types of losses related to the less efficiency of a transformer. Now I am discussing one or two numerical related to the transformer. I am directly writing the question in the form of data. Let number of turns in primary coil is 100. Number of turns in secondary coil is 1000. 10,000. EMF of primary coil is 11 volt. EMF of primary coil is 11 volt. What will be the EMF of secondary coil? NP 100, NS 10,000, EP 11 volt, and we have to find out ES. And you have to also characterize the transformer, whether it is step up or step down. I think it is very easy numerical. Directly observing this NS is 10,000, NP is 100. Since NS greater than NP, therefore it is step up transformer. This is step up transformer. Now we have to find out the value of ES. We can use the formula ES by EP equals to NS by NP. NS is 10,000, NP is 100, and therefore ES by EP will be equals to 100. It means ES will be 100 times of EP, and therefore it will be 100 into 11, or that will be 1100 volt. So by this way we can find out the EMF of secondary coil, that is denoted by ES, and such type of transformer is step up transformer. Now second question is this: eta equals to 80%. Efficiency of transformer is given as 80%. NS equals to 100. NP equals to 10. ES equals to 400. You have to find out EP. And the second question, if IP equals to 2 ampere, if IP equals to 2 ampere, what will be IS? This is the last question. Eta equals to 80%, NS 100, NP 10, IP 2 ampere, EP this, ES this, and we have to find out IS. So first of all, we use directly these four data. The concept of efficiency will be utilized to calculate current. But to find out ES or EP, if number of turns are given, there is no use of eta. So directly first we use NS by NP equals to ES by EP. What we have to find out? We have to find out EP. It means EMF of primary coil we have to find out. Therefore, this EP can be written as NP by NS into ES. This EP can be taken out in this side, NS will be here, NP will be here. So NP by NS into ES. What is NP? NP is 10. What is NS? 100. And what is ES? 400. What we get? Here it is 10, here it is 100. Therefore, we will get 40 volt. This is the EMF of primary coil. For primary coil, EMF will be 40 volt. Now we have to find out current related to the secondary coil. Now we have to use the formula of efficiency. Since eta equals to ES IS by EPI, and according to the question, eta is 80%. Therefore, we can write 80 by 100. Since it is 80%, therefore we can write 80 by 100. Now what we have to find out? Is, we can put the value. It can also be written as 8 by 10, so that we can directly solve. It is 8 by 10. So now by using this relation we can find out. This is the value of EP. Here we know that 8 by 10, that is the efficiency. ES is 400. You have to find out IS, EP, IP. EP just we have solved 40. EP is 40. IP that is given 2. IP is 2. Now we can solve it. IS can be written as, this will be cancelled out directly as 10 and this will be cancelled out as 5. Clear? Therefore IS can be written as 8 by 10 into 5, or that's why it can be written as 4 by 25 ampere. It means here current have been decreased. The current in primary coil is 2 ampere. Current in secondary coil is 4 by 25 ampere. And since current have been reduced, therefore heat loss, that is I square R, that will be reduced up to great extent. It means if we use step up transformer, then voltage will be high, and voltage will be high, then current will be less. Current will be less, and due to less current, there will be very less loss of energy in the form of heat. That is the basic use of transformer. By using transformer, we can increase the voltage, and by increasing the voltage, the current will be reduced, and if current is reduced, then heat loss can be minimized up to great extent. That is the basic use of transformer in long distance transmission of AC. Thank you.